So again, Morgan, you talked about you joined with Khalil in doing the Sparrow's Fortune because you always want to be a part of a collective. So now joining and being a part of a collective, what have you learned? And let me add this: why did you agree to be the co-directing manager?
So, Khalil is extremely patient. That's one thing I say. He's patient with everybody, part of the group. Me, I'm a little bit more like stern. Like I'm a stickler. I'm a stickler. So for me, I think that one of the biggest things that I've learned is just looking up from the outside in. When you say you want to be a part of a group, seeing like when you put that mission and that vision down. Um, do you really want to be a part of the group, or do you just want to be, are you really for the Sparrow's Fortune, or are you just a member who says that they're a part of the Sparrow's Fortune? And I feel like you make a decision of whether or not you want to be just a member, or do you want to be the Sparrow's Fortune? Like, is this something like you would tattoo on you to say like, oh, I'm doing the work, like I'm in the field? And that's really something I think that a lot of the time as artists, when you're doing anything creative, um, you have to do things through and through creative. So you have to handle people creatively. You have to manage people creatively. You have to get creative with the way that you address people and talk to people to, because it's a lot of egos, a lot of as an artist, you have an ego. You want to be competitive. You want to have the most lines. You want to, some people want to have the most lines or be on the stage the most stuff like that. So when I think of what I've learned is just learning how to, work well in a group and be compassionate to other people's, dreams and passions as well, and learning how to be patient, in which Khalil has taught me how to do that. But like I said, I'm still a little bit stern on that end. Um, and I think with becoming the, managing director, I think that for me, is just seeing how, passionate I am about the work that we do. I think that that's ultimately what I like, seeing how people are impacted. Um, you know, when you're in front of an audience of 60 people, you see how you get to see the whole audience. You don't, it's not, all looking at you, one person, but you're looking at you get to see all of the faces, all of the reactions. And I just love that we are being able to, impact people in that way. And by being ourselves and telling the truth about what we went through and our vulnerabilities. And I think that I love seeing that, and I love being able to, even with our writing workshops, I love the conversations we're able to have and go further and talk well into depth about that you don't just have on a regular basis. I appreciate that because a lot of the time we're so on the surface that we don't really know how people are doing. We'll ask them how they're doing. We all automatically just say, good, I'm well. Those types of things. But once you really get to, in our writing workshops, we're able to like kind of like undress ourselves and peel our layers back to be able to say like, I'm actually, been going through a lot right now. I'm actually just feeling a little depressed about my financial situation, whatever may be going on in their lives with relationships or anything. And being able to say like, hey, somebody talk about, having a poor relationship with their parents or something like that. That's not something that's, I think a lot of the time we get to this point where we think like, I'm the only person that went through that kind of selfish and the way that we've experienced and so many other people have, they just haven't had the opportunity or the comfortability to be able to voice that. So I think that opening up the spaces that we have and being able to speak into the students' lives and our peers' lives with the writing workshops and the work that we do is has made me more passionate and excited to be the managing director and continue to curate and produce shows and stuff like that. I really love that.
Okay, I need you to talk real quick about Poetry Unplugged.
Okay. So Poetry Unplugged is an open mic experience where we create a platform for artists to be limitless in their expression. So Me and my partner Tom Parker, I met him at another open mic at the B side, and they have theirs every Tuesday evenings, and it was just when you a new artist coming out, B side is kind of like you gotta have tough skin for B side a little bit, just because you know they're not freely giving you their attention. You kind of fight. You gotta fight for their attention.
That's
So when it comes to that, I think that Tom he was just coming out as an artist, and he was like, I started off at B side. That was my first time I ever performed back in 2019. So I started going there more frequently after I was to get more comfortable, and it definitely helped me develop tough skin and be able to kind of learn how to control a crowd or get their attention. So I think that definitely great training grounds for me. But we wanted to create. We met up. He asked me to help him with some poetry, and then he was like, "Man, I want to create our own open mic." I'm like, "Let's do it." He's great at speaking with people and connecting with people and networking and stuff like that. So, and then I was already in the poetry realm, so I felt like I've met a lot of poets along the way to be able to say like, "Hey, come to our open mic." So we started back in January 2021. Our first event was a splash. Literally, we had about 50 people there. And our number one rule is respect the mic, because we want artists to feel comfortable and be able to get that attention. You're writing and you're brave enough to come up on the stage. You got to respect the mic. So we don't do it at loud bars or anything like that. We do it at places where people respect the artists that come up on the stage. Everybody gives them their full undivided attention. We cheer them on. This is not a popularity contest where you got to be the best, or I don't see myself as the best. I don't see anybody under me or above me. I see everybody as my peer. So when I think about you, as long as you're confident, you're coming on that stage, even if you're nervous, you're still a little bit confident because you got up there. So we created it for artists to be limitless and say whatever they feel like saying. Even if you're coming up there saying, "Hi, cool, I hate my job and I want to quit." That's good enough for us. Or you want to tell us what you do in the community, or what if you have a business or anything like that. So it's an open mic experience. So singers, rappers, poets, spoken word artists, playwrights, dancers, however you express yourself creatively can come up. Also, we have networking opportunities during our intermission. So we provide that to be able to create and be able to make those connections so that artists can collaborate with other artists like we do at the Sparrow's Fortune, as well as it's so much more you can do when you do it together.